Showtime!
And welcome back to Habeas Corpses, all you boils and ghouls and corpses crew, to another exciting episode of Habeas Corpses. Yeah. Lacey,
I've been dying to tell you something.
you've been in a bad mood, bro.
Okay, I didn't want to talk about that.
You've been in a real bad mood.
Thank you.
What's up? What are you dying to tell me? What is on your mind?
No, I don't know if I want to tell you.
Because you're in a bad mood, bro.
Marcus, I'm going to cut you. I'm going to slit your throat in your sleep.
Well, that's not very nice. I guess this episode will never be aired or edited because I'm getting my
But it
throat
will be
slit.
used in my murder trial.
Yeah. Evidence Exhibit A. She threatened her boyfriend before the murders.
Okay, I have a question to ask you first.
Go.
How
What's
much
up?
do you know about Ed and Lorraine Warren's marriage?
Zero zilch. I know they were married at a young age, correct?
Super young, but late teens, early 20s.
Mm-hmm. Spent almost all of their lives with each other. Gizmo, what
Yeah,
are you
how
doing?
about the extra woman that was in their relationship pretty much the entire fucking time?
Did not know that. Conjuring Universe sure left that one out, didn't
They sure fucking did because
it doesn't
Lorraine
sell.
Warren put it in the contract that it could not be in the fucking movies. Are you ready for
Serious?
this? Yes. Okay, so Ed Warren.
Hand.
Okay.
Back up.
Okay.
Where did you come across this fact?
Because I was listening to a podcast about them today.
They're going to get sued. Well, I guess she's dead.
She's dead. He's dead. And the woman who was a part of their throuple, basically,
Is dead.
is alive and very much wants some money out of the Conjuring universe because she's like, I was fucking a part of those investigations.
She's like, you know what, bitch? I was the one lugging the bags around with all the
Yes.
exorcism shit.
Her name is, okay, so you know how they have a daughter named Judy? Her daughter's name, this woman's name is Judith.
Judith. And in real life, do they have a daughter?
Named Judy, yes.
Okay, and the girl's name.
Yeah.
So who is the actual bearer of the child?
Well, Lorraine, but I think it's suspicious that they named their daughter after. Okay. But I need to tell you about this. You need to hear the details, Marcus. So shut up.
But hang on one second. They did write her into the movie. They used the Asian character that's in.
No. Shut up.
Every one of those, there's the Asian guy that comes along that's packing the bags and setting up the cameras.
That's Judith Penny. Listen
Yeah.
to this.
Okay.
Okay. So apparently Ed Warren was a bus driver briefly.
School bus driver?
Yeah. Because
There's hope for me yet.
shut up. There's no hope for this. I'll kill you. And I would kill you if you came home and you were like, this teenage girl that I drive at school, it's one of my students. She's going to live with us now, and I'm going to start fucking her.
That's no.
Yes,
No.
that is what happened.
That's not what I was insinuating. I was insinuating I could become some pop
demonologist.
culture demonologist with tons of money.
No, listen to this. So she was like 16, and he was her bus driver, and they started having an affair.
On the bus?
I
On
don't
the
know.
bus?
I don't know. And she ended up living with them for 40 years.
And she's still alive?
And yes,
I gotta
because
see
she's
what
a
this girl
ton
looks like.
younger than Ed and Lorraine. And like Lorraine hated her and she hated Lorraine. But like Lorraine knew about it and she like had this relationship with Ed for 40 years. And when like she finally wanted to get married to someone else, so and on his deathbed she broke up with Ed Warren so she could go marry someone else. But like when they were off doing their demonology shit, like it's believed that she was like taking care of their child sometimes when she wasn't helping them with investigations. And when Lorraine got all the money and was like signing the contracts, it specifically says like there will be no mention or depiction of the married couple like participating in underage sexual relationships, extramarital relationships, or child pornography.
How did Ed and Lorraine not go to jail for like, I guess the time period? Well,
The time period was weird, and she got arrested because people did turn them in, and she got arrested for being a delinquent and then had to go to this like special delinquent like
For having sex with him?
Yes. Well, she didn't have sex with. It wasn't like a thruple.
Oh, okay.
It was like an angry, like
psychological relationship at first.
Well, no, they totally had a physical relationship. Her and
was
Ed.
Ed playing his cards right? Was he like, you know what? Not till you're 18 will I touch you.
No.
So, wow.
Anyway,
well, I don't have a whole lot of respect for Ed and Lorraine Warren.
I don't either, and I have even less now.
I know. The Conjuring universe is based on some pretty interesting stories. Whether or not true, who knows?
They literally cannot be, most of them cannot be verified. Like, that was one of the things that this podcast talked about, is because some of them are so vague. And did you know that Lorraine Warren claims that she had a telepathic conversation with Bigfoot?
No.
Yeah, shit's weird.
Well, we should do a whole episode on that.
We should, because I was shook.
You'll get a lot of hate from like some of the horror community, I think. But it's the people.
They can eat raw.
I would say it's the people that just are very on the surface. She did some other weird. Lorraine's done some other weird stuff, I believe. I
just am shook about the whole. And I guess like this lady was like really mad because she got written out, and she was like, I was literally there, and like Lorraine's a super bitch, and she like was suing Lorraine for the money she was making on the films. Like,
wow,
her name's Judith Penny.
Judith Penny. That's an interesting way to start this episode.
You're welcome. I've been waiting all day to tell you.
Yeah, I did. I had no idea. That shows you how much I've actually looked into Ed and Lorraine Warren, because I've always called kind of bullshit on all of their stuff. I think it's
she purposely wanted their relationship to be depicted as perfect in the movies.
Oh, I'm sure the perfect, and just when you see Patrick Wilson and
Warren.
No, Vermine. What's the name of
Vera Farmiga.
Yeah, Vera Farmiga, that plays Lorraine Warren. It's like perfect American 1970s couple.
Yeah, that's how she wanted it depicted in the movies.
Yeah, and then you see just a picture of Ed and Lorraine Warren, and you're like,
he's that like classic New England guy. Like,
he looks like he goes home, drinks a 6-pack of beer a day, and smokes some cigs, and maybe smacks the bitch around, and it's like,
also,
you get back in the kitchen, woman.
That's part
like they picked Patrick Wilson, this very handsome gentleman, to play.
Apparently, there's also claims of like he did used to physically abuse her.
I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah. I wouldn't doubt it at all. Ooh, spooky. Now the spirits of Ed and Lorraine Warren are pissed at you because you brought this to light.
When I was listening to this podcast, the podcaster was like, so the real horror story of the Conjuring universe is the real Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Watch, now that Lorraine's passed away, what's his name?
They're playing.
Unnecessary.
We're just going to have to deal with it. If you listen to our podcast, you already know what's going to happen.
It's going to have dogs in it. Anyways, they're going to do it. The Conjuring 4 you watch is going to be the true story, the untold story. And they'll bring Judith in, and everything will be aired out and just spilled out. And that's where they're going to make the big cash, because they've been putting it on for a decade.
You know that guy that like when you look at old videos of them being interviewed by some dude in a brown suit, that's their son-in-law.
It is?
Yes.
He's like,
that's Judy's husband. Like, but they would always pretend like they weren't related when he would like interview them.
Oh yeah,
because they were trying to like create an image. They like rented out studio space and would have him in.
So they really weren't even on the news? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
most
pretty
of
much.
Their shit is just like
pretty much everything they've ever done cannot be substantiated, or it's like straight from their mouths.
One of their most major cases, the Amityville horror. I mean,
that's the other thing is like people have come out and said like, yeah, like kind of what would happen is like, if we were in poverty, like you could call the Warrens and be like, this ghost.
Make up a ghost story.
Which like, I'm like, whatever. Who's that really hurting? Like, you got a lot of money. They got a lot of money. The person that originally owned
and now the studios are getting a lot of money.
I mean, whatever, because it's just like a story about a spooky haunted house. Like, it's shitty that it happened, and like I feel bad for the Amityville horror guys, like the kid like that the son of that family. Like it's pretty fucked up. Like I've heard him talk a little bit.
Well, and that's like the when we talked about The Conjuring 3, the kid that was, I mean, he's in that the little kid. Him as an adult, he's like, none of that shit happened. It was a big hoax. They're all full of shit. But the studio's like, shut your fucking mouth. We're making a ton of cash off this. We need everyone to believe.
Yeah. So anyway,
it's still a fun universe. I like the universe. I like the characters.
I think it's really fun to look at it as fiction.
Yeah.
And like, if you even think that shit is
they
real,
should have just wrote books. They should have just like straight up,
because like they would have been excellent authors because they
go.
came up with really incredible horror.
But they wanted more. They wanted you to believe.
Because it made more money. They made most of their money like off of like their weird like
is that my phone or yours?
It's yours. Their like lessons or whatever those, like their speeches, whatever that's called. Do you know what I'm talking about? When you would like buy tickets to go hear them speak in an auditorium.
Yeah.
That's what they made most of their money off of. They didn't even charge the families for the shit that they were doing.
They were like another Sylvia Brown.
Yeah. They were the original.
I guess Sylvia Brown didn't go around to people's homes and claim to.
And I guess like when they first started, like Ed would go outside of people's houses and just like furiously start drawing.
You should seriously, this is your job. You should like just dive into it and make a documentary on this.
Okay.
You will have a lot of things in your way because Warner Brothers is not taking. They're going to be like, you're not undermining the greats.
I just want to talk about it on our podcast for a couple minutes and then move
but
on.
that could be your claim to fame. Like,
could be.
Like 5 years from now, you're all like dressed up, red carpet, Hollywood, like.
I'm just going to start dressing like that from now on. And so people can be like, God, who is she? And I'll just be like, I'm a podcaster.
We're a little bit of everything on this show.
Okay, so anyway, that's my spiel about Ed and Lorraine Warren. I was obsessed to find out that he had a secret girlfriend.
You were obsessed or upset?
Obsessed. I was really interested to find out that he had a secret like girlfriend that he'd been with for 4 years.
Well, I know what I'm doing exactly. Like when this episode over, right to the computer, I'm looking at it. I want to see what she looks like.
I'll just show you right
now. Yeah, what does she look like?
As I was Googling her, I was listening to the episode of
and we'll show you, our YouTube viewers. Lacey can put that up to the camera.
On my phone. Hold on. Images. Here we go. Here's a picture of them together.
All three of them?
No, just those two.
You're sure that's not Lorraine?
Yes.
It is.
You
too far away.
Have to Google it yourselves, people. And then here's her like a recent photo. I'll show you. She's a cute little old lady.
Dude, she looks totally younger in that.
She's way younger than them.
That is Lorraine Warren.
Oh.
You dumbass. Now
Lorraine
I don't even.
Warren's a cute little lady. No! Give me back my phone.
Yeah, she showed up to the premiere of The Conjuring.
Give me the fucking...
Now I don't even believe your fucking story.
No.
What fucking goose chase are you on?
Fuck off.
She's a cute little lady. Look, she showed up to the premiere in a wheelchair of The Conjuring 2.
Well,
that's fucking...
Here's the article right here about them.
No, I want to see a current picture.
A woman named Judith Penny, now in her 70s, in a sworn declaration. Fuck off.
Everyone needs to not believe what Lacey has said.
No, please
minutes.
believe what I said, but I just don't trust my Googling of photos.
Look it up yourself.
No, it's real. Go listen to the episode of You're Wrong About Ed and Lorraine.
Okay.
Please go do that.
Oh, now that that's
out of the way
on the table, and
it's literally one of the most interesting. Okay, just because I fucked up one photo.
Like, no, but this is the best thing about it is that photo is because you're like that fucking Lorraine Warren's a fucking bitch, ugly hag, and then you're like, look at his cute little girlfriend, which is his fucking wife.
Fuck off. No, but my information is still accurate. My photos just are not. My photos just are not. But I didn't look up enough. I wasn't like...
Clearly.
I was like sitting in my car and I had 2 minutes and I wanted to read an article about it. Like I was like, that's what I was doing. And I was like, I gotta see her. And the only photo I saw for sure was the picture of them, the Polaroid.
Okay.
Which that is not Lorraine.
Are you positive?
Yes.
I'm not claiming...
But well,
I'm going to put this out right now. Marcus claims no responsibility for what Lacey says on this show.
Come at me, Warner Bros.
You're going to sue the shit out of you.
I have no money, so try me.
They're going to take our mics. This next episode will be
We're not married. These mics belong to you.
Yeah, that's what I said. There's no...
Come at me, Warner Bros.
All of it's mine.
Eat my ass with a rusty spoon. Ed Warren was a creep. He was the creepy bus driver. He's the reason buses have cameras now.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You know what one thing that I noticed today, like we work with some really great people. Bus drivers, for the most part, are the salt of the earth people. They're just...
I'd say it's like 80-20.
No, I would say 90-10.
Okay.
But that 10%...
They're the worst.
They're so out there that
they came from the hell mouth.
They give the 90% of us a bad
Every
name.
10% of the shitty bus drivers, they would be demons on Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
We'll get them patches that they can wear on their bus that says they're the 10%ers and we're the 90%ers that are actually cool. Oh, what?
It started to slip.
It's fucking Ed Warren fucking telling you to fuck off, man. That's instead of Annabelle, it's fucking Ed
everybody's
Warren's
like,
doll.
their house is haunted. I knocked it over before the episode, and I don't think I propped it up appropriately. I will not be shocked if it completely falls over and all the letters just come flying out of this stupid fucking piece of shit.
The whole fucking room blows up.
Yeah, it'll all be because I knocked something over.
And
I was just like screaming.
Hey, Ed, I told you, I put it out there that I didn't believe Lacey about this story.
Fuck off, Ed, and your stupid chest hair.
Boom.
Ugly ass motherfucker.
He's like, you did say I look like a man that brought home a six-pack and beat his wife every day, though.
Yeah, he does. Does look like that.
Okay, let's get into
the worst movie I've ever seen.
The worst? Oh, come on!
It was up there with Microwave Massacre.
But Microwave Massacre is at least
That's fun. Good point. This is up there with Hereditary. Fuck this movie. It was dumb.
We'll have to do an episode on Microwave Massacre. Maybe we can do another one because Alex is coming into town.
Alex and I have PTSD.
From that episode.
That episode. Do you still have the recording of that? Because what would be funny is if we like redid it, but then like played a couple clips.
Nope, I don't. I got rid of that. It's long gone. We're never finding that piece of shit again. I was so drunk on that episode that nothing made any sense. But Don't Breathe 2.
It was.
Stephen Lang is back playing
his whole ear touched my actual eyeball. Did you see that?
Well, I'm trying to talk about the movie, and you just got to be holding some big-ass dog. Put him down.
He wanted up here.
Who gives a shit? We're doing a show. Bye. See ya. No. Go down. No. You never do this, and now that we have a camera in our show, you always want the dogs to be in it.
He's always on my lap. Go back. Yeah. Bullshit. I can find lots of clips where he's licking himself in the background.
Yeah, because he clearly is so loud. So Don't Breathe 2. Basically,
it could have been a standalone movie about another blind man. It really didn't matter if you saw the first one. And
no. And
for the record, I really liked the first one.
Yeah, you'd seen it twice in theaters. Yeah. I'd seen it once. Now, this is at first when it plays out, I thought it was going to be a prequel. But it is clearly a sequel because, just because. And it pits our Stephen Lang, who is the creepy old man, against some, what they say is ex-military members. I don't think they're ex-military at all. I think they just tell the military chick they were. But they're part of this drug ring that's going on.
They're crack dealers. They dabble in crack.
and organ trade.
And organs.
Yeah, crack and organ trade.
Just normal
The normal
stuff
that's going on in Detroit, because this is clearly based in the suburbs of Detroit, where city blocks, just like I think in the first one, it actually says it's in Detroit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like it's city.
Like they were making a statement with the first one about the homes there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because that really is how the homes are in Michigan. Like, straight up, there's blocks that look like that.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But, like, the first one was really interesting.
Like, you can buy a house there for $5.
Yeah, pretty
like,
much.
It's like when you're playing Monopoly, and you go around the board. What's, like, the cheapest property you can buy?
I don't know. I'm not good at Monopoly.
It definitely ain't Boardwalk, though. But Michigan has suffered plenty of problems, and their real estate dried up like no other. And yeah, the first one plays on that,
and it plays on the senses of the blind man. That's why it's called Don't Breathe, because he can hear you. And it's really fun, and it kept you on the edge of your seat because it was a unique, like you would be standing right in front of him and he can't see you.
Yeah, definitely. The things that take anything that made the first suspenseful and gritty and exciting and throw them out. That's not what this movie's about, because we follow the old man. The only reason it's a
sequel is because it has the same old guy in it.
Yeah, and the same premise. But now the old man has rescued a kid from a burnt out drug lab.
Like, yeah, crack kitchen exploded.
And,
a meth lab, not crack.
And he has brought her back to his house where he lives and is taking care of her and raising her.
And she
has named her Phoenix. Because he saved her from the flames. I think
it's the phoenix who rises from the ashes.
Exactly. And now...
I'm pretty sure that's where they were going with that.
And he's still living in fucking shit.
Whole Michigan.
Well...
Detroit, Michigan.
Yeah. Yeah.
We just established that that's where it's set in.
Yes. And for some reason, he has like somebody that delivers groceries or something to him.
No, he sells flowers, which that was like his thing
okay, the greenhouse. That makes sense. Yes, so
well, if Marcus would get off his phone in the beginning of films, he would know what's happening.
Hey, I know when the film's going to be shit. That's why I started playing on my phone right away. I was like, man, this one's going to suck. But then I paid attention to it throughout, and you were the one that was kind of like checked out.
No, I watched the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I checked my phone once.
I stopped looking at my phone like halfway through the movie. But crackheads are...
They're meth heads. I'm sorry.
Meth
I got it
heads,
wrong.
crackheads,
it was a meth
whatever.
lab. It was not crack. It was meth.
So, yes. And so they're
stealing their daughter back.
Which is
they gotta be good. They gotta be quiet about the blind guy. But then they don't. They're like, just start stabbing him and stuff.
Well, yeah.
Drown the girl.
That's what I mean. There's no suspense in the film. It's all gone. It's just
it was like
sneaking around and everything is nothing. They figure out, oh, he's a fucking Navy SEAL. He was a Navy SEAL. And so then they're like, well, we're not going to be quiet anymore. We're just going to try and fight him. And the one redeeming quality of this whole movie
was when it ended?
No, it's the one movie where people like from the first film you have cum guzzling old man with a
cum guzzling, cum squirting.
What? No, because he guzzles on because remember she like shoves that thing in his mouth, the turkey baster.
Yeah.
And you have like a bunch of moral.
That's the other thing is
dilemmas.
there was like a super good twist.
Yeah.
And I felt like in this one, like the twist was pretty weak and then the double twist was even weaker.
Well, the twist is weak, but what I was going to say is I think you would agree with me. As much fucked up stuff that's happened in this Don't Breathe universe. The dog that's going to come after him and kill him, he ends up saving from the fire of the house.
So let's actually talk about that. So they have this dog named Shiloh, and it's this big fucking beast of a dog. And
well, he has a dog too, which gets killed. They kill his dog.
Shiloh.
That's Shiloh. So what's the meth heads?
I don't know the name of that dog. They doesn't have a name because they don't care about it.
Yeah, they're pretty much like stupid mutt.
So he goes out to feed Shiloh and notices that Shiloh has not eaten his food. And he's probably thinking like, I assume Shiloh's like Charlie. Like if you put food in front of him, he's eating. Okay. So
yeah,
he's like, something there's danger afoot. And he goes and he's looking and he finds Shiloh dead. And he's like using those blindy senses, those spidey senses. And he's fingering the bloody hole he finds on the dog and discovers a bullet.
Which is like highly unlikely, that bullet, in my opinion.
We're not getting into the ballistics, right. Marcus. That's not what we're doing. And he's like, danger. And so he runs back to the house because he knows that, like, someone's done this on purpose. And so, like, all this stuff is happening. It's really not that exciting. There's, like, a weird box that the kid gets in and then it, like, fills up with water. And
it's her escape area. Like, he has taught her to survive, taught her survival.
But what I'm saying
grills
is,
her on it.
Like, what I thought was going to happen in the house was going to be really interesting. And it's kind of interesting for a few seconds and then it kind of simmers out, and then it's not. It's just a lot of the blind guy, like,
a lot of fighting, a lot of what could be gory stuff that ends up not being.
Yeah, they don't show you.
Like well, hang on, we got to talk about this death. It's not even a death, but it's so funny.
Oh, this was funny.
He super glues this guy's mouth and nose
like
shut.
Eminem.
Yeah, let's call him Eminem. Have you seen The Lost Boys?
No.
Oh, okay. One of the characters looks just like another character off The Lost Boys, the curly-haired mullet dude, who's very annoying.
I know who you're describing him as, and I disagree. You think he looks like is actually not a bad looking dude.
Okay, but you thought Lorraine Warren. So your little comparisons might be a little off. You might want to consult your phone there.
Good thing this episode's not going to be aired, except at my trial, remember?
But so he finds his friend who's been super glued.
It's his brother.
Is it his brother?
Yeah.
Mouth.
That's my brother,
glued,
yo.
Nose super glued, which I don't know how you do. Like, if I put a bunch of super glue on your mouth and nose, like, it's not going to dry fast enough.
I don't know, Marcus.
But the best
this
part...
movie's full of plot holes, but that's not the plot hole that we should be, like, concerned about.
The best part about it is his brother comes in and he grabs a screwdriver. And instead of just slitting the mouth or the nose open, he stabs him in the fucking cheek, man.
Yeah, I was like...
And he starts, like, gurgling through, like... Holy shit.
Yeah, I was like, well, this movie just got really dumb. But so, like, because up to that point, I was like, interesting. Okay. I had hope up to that point.
Yeah, that's when it goes downhill.
Was like, I was like, I've lost all.
That's when the whole crew, like, looked at the writer and director and were like, you want to do, why would we do that? We quit.
Yeah.
And they're just like, well, now what are we going to do? Let's just have a bunch of scenes where he almost gets caught, but doesn't, and then almost gets caught again and doesn't.
But he's getting injured the whole time,
and
severely injured.
Yeah, meth heads make it away.
Listen,
it's snoring.
Can you hear it? Yeah, it's cute.
Meth heads make it away. They.
Okay, no. Shh. The whole point of us talking about this was the dog, and you're skipping over the second dog.
The second dog doesn't die.
We ought to talk about it.
I know, I'm getting there.
I'm getting there now.
No, the meth heads get away, but they have sicked the dog on.
No, you're not telling it right.
Okay, you tell the way you want to tell.
Okay, so they release the hound. And it goes in and it's barking at the guy. And he's like trying to fend it off. And he thinks about shooting it. And then he puts the gun away. And I was like, well, we know who the good guy is in this movie because we know who killed the dogs or the dog in the previous scene. And so,
but we know he's not a good guy because we've seen the first film.
Okay, but out of the bad guys, he's the good guy. He's the better
redeeming qualities. The whole purpose.
Marcus, we're not getting into that. No, he's a shitty rapist, and we don't like him, and he's blind. And so that makes him lesser than us.
Listening to me, though. They're trying to do. They're trying.
I know they're trying to do, and you're not listening to me. All I want to talk about is the dog and the Molotov cocktail. So if you'll just listen for a second. Thank you. Okay, so he decides not to kill the dog. and they start throwing Molotov cocktails in the house, and the house like lights on fire, and the guy's like trying to get out of the house, but he gets out of the attic where him and the dog were, and he realizes that the dog can't escape, so he helps the dog escape because he's the redeeming qualities. That's what he has in this film. Even though, like, what I'm saying is, like, out of all the bad guys, he's the better guy in this film, not in the world. And so then, like, the dog, like, helps him, like, find the crackheads or the meth heads or whatever. Like, it leads them to their lab. But because they all get away, but this one nice Hispanic dude, he's like, hey, guys, like, what about the dog? And they're like, fuck the dog. He's dead. And he's like, that shit ain't right. And he like continually through the movie, he's like, this shit ain't right. Like, you guys are bad. And then he gives the blind guy like the info later, which is like how there's like the little girl is safe from creepy Betty Boop who needs a new heart. Okay, so back to what Marcus was saying.
You're terrible at synopsises.
I thought that was excellent.
No. What they're trying to do the whole film is make you like him again.
Yes, I
but
know
if you've seen
that.
the first film, you know he's a terrible person.
I know.
The young Phoenix girl does not know about his past. Then we figure out that Phoenix, with her parents, her biological parents, who almost killed her in
the meth lab explosion.
The mom needs a new heart, and the only way to get it to her is through Phoenix. So they're really not getting Phoenix to reunite her, which you think, oh, okay, they're bad people, but they just want their daughter back. But then they do a little twist, and it's like, no, we just want you so we can harvest your heart to save your mom.
You're like, ooh, now you actually have a better shitty life. Like, your life was shitty with the blind guy, but it's better than the life you're going to have here, which is no life because you're going to be dead. But, and then creepy Betty Boop, which is her mom, is like, you'll live on in me. Boop, boop, boop.
I listened to you talk. Now shut the fuck up.
Fine.
You already said you were going to kill me after
this
episode.
Dinners.
I clean up after you.
I'm talking about like I'm going to poison them.
Oh, I get it. Everyone, again.
Thanksgiving Day massacre.
If I disappear, it's because of her. My biggest beef with this movie, and I'm not one of those people that's like picks on little things in movies. Trust, I like so many different movies out there that I'm like, who gives a shit, you know? I hate people who do that or who are like, that doesn't make any sense. It's a fucking movie. But the open heart surgery they're about to perform with that little thing that's like this small, no.
And we've all seen Grey's Anatomy. That's not how you do it.
Exactly. Okay. This one heart surgeon thinks he's going to complete this. And he's like, you guys do know the risk factors to this, right? Because all I have is this from Big Lots. It's a little tool that I think
it's from Harbor Freight.
Yeah, man. Like, straight up. And
they grabbed some medical equipment that got thrown out.
Well, and that's like not even medical equipment. This looks like something I would trust a surgeon with a turkey cutter opener upper thing. Yeah, that saw turkey.
I want one of those for
this is like a little Dremel that he's going to use.
Yeah.
And that's when I asked you, I was like, so can they actually do that? Because she's like playing an 11-year-old. And
I did give it a goog.
Clearly late 30s, early 40s.
And it said it depends on the size of the child and the size of the organ. I'm thinking that it's possible, but it's plausible, but it's unlikely. Possible, but unlikely. I don't know. One of those things.
But to add
like
on,
it's a probably not.
Add on to my gripe is like you researched it. I bet you they didn't even go that far. They're like, just go to Harbor Freight.
Nobody's gonna look it up.
And just they're like,
they're gonna eat this movie up. It's gonna be the best movie of the year.
That scene was highly insulting to the audience's intelligence. So
also, this movie was worse than Halloween Kills.
Oh, by far. Except Stephen Lang does do a good job as playing the creepy old man again.
He does. He's an excellent actor.
He's a believable guy.
I do.
Do you know what else he's in?
No.
Because I was like, this guy looks so familiar.
Did you give him a gook?
I did.
And?
You remember Avatar?
Never saw it.
You never saw Avatar?
No, had no interest.
He's the colonel in Avatar. That's the bad guy. Have you seen Gettysburg?
Yeah, a long time ago. It's been a while. That's a good one.
He's General Pickett in
That
Gettysburg.
isn't going to ring a bell because I only can picture the black men in that film.
That's Glory.
I have not seen
Gettysburg.
Gettysburg. I have seen Glory with Denzel Washington.
Yeah,
And I like
Morgan
that movie.
Freeman. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good movie, but that's not the same.
It's a good
movie.
film.
But yeah, then it ends on this battle of the evils, the two evils.
Betty
And-
Boop gets her hand cut off by her own kid.
Well, she dies. She gets shot in that
But
wheelchair.
then she's got to cut the hand off so she doesn't like get.
But then she falls anyways.
Yeah, I'm like, you would have lived. Like, it wasn't like 100-story drop.
It's a pretty big drop.
It wasn't 100 stories.
No, but it's about, I would dare say 15 to 20 feet.
Well,
It's
if you just relax a little bit, you'll be fine. She was drugged up.
Fuck outta here.
That's how drunk drivers survive.
That's not how that works, man. Like, let me drop you on your head from, just the height of the roof.
Did you know
to
that
the
if you
cement.
drop from like more than 5,000 feet, if you just like really relax, you'll turn
You'll be
into
fine.
jello as
And
you.
Yeah, I'm sure that's,
then you
laws
just,
of
like,
physics and shit. That's how that works.
You're like light as a feather, stiff as a board.
People
That's what
like
that
die
is.
from getting punched, and you're just saying, if you just fucking relax when anything happens to you,
You'll
that
live.
train that's about to hit you, just relax.
You
You'll
know
be
what
fine.
though?
You'll
I
be like
can't even
Gumby.
take my own advice because I can't relax ever. So I'm just gonna have a stroke one day. I'm just gonna be like,
And
and another thing.
and I'll look and say, relax. And when you're like in the hospital and the neurosurgeon comes over, I'll be like, I just told her relax.
And then her neurosurgeon would be like, that would have actually really helped her. We would
Probably.
not be here if she would have calmed the fuck down. Like her whole life, if she just took it from a 10, even to a 7, we might not be here. But she lived her life on a 10, and that's not a good place to be.
And the thing that's gonna make you really crack is they're somehow gonna make Don't Breathe 3, and you'll end up watching.
That's what I'm gonna be yelling. And another thing, that's what's gonna do it. Is this fucking third movie that they're gonna make someday? This was one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
And he's straight up Michael Myers.
Yeah,
The old guy, straight up Michael Myers, the drug dealer dad. It's like Breaking Bad, kind of. Like,
yeah.
'cause they're like, we cannot cook this meth without her. She's our cook. So they're like, without her,
Like
we have
how
no
many?
drugs.
I'm sure you could find another cook on the streets. Okay.
And that's what I'm telling you, man. Thieves are lower than murderers.
Mm-hmm.
They
It's
will
true.
kill their.
This movie is the epitome of what you were trying to explain to me.
Yeah, the other day. 'Cause
The
I said-
murderers and rapists have redeeming qualities.
I
but-
never said rapists have redeeming qualities.
I'm just-
You
Marcus.
fucking putting words in my fucking
he did
mouth.
not say rapists. He said murderers.
Murder.
Marcus,
Rapists
okay.
never came into the conversation.
Well,
I
he
literally watched.
calls himself a rapist. That's why I said that.
Who?
The old guy. He says I've
Oh.
murdered and I've raped.
Yeah. But I thought, no, you made it sound like I said rapists were.
Okay, but here's what Marcus
Not at
really
all.
said. Here's what
I
Marcus really
said-
said.
Murderers
Well, like
are on a higher rung than fucking thieves.
yeah, like murderers, they're like, what did you say? You're like, they're not gonna stab you in the back like a thief will or something
Yeah,
like that.
no, and I.
Which is true, like, because I'm not gonna like go into specifics, but I had like an experience today, and Marcus was like, "See, thieves, they're lower,
They're bad,
they're
man.
the lowest fucking people in society." And I was
They
like,
are. They're.
Thank
fucked
you.
up.
I
They-
finally felt validated.
like, and in no way am I trying to say that a murderer is a good person. They're all bad.
no. But what you were
But-
saying
and
is
I-
like the mindset of like somebody who like is a thief, like in a
It's bad. Like.
because while you're thinking, I think this is what you were trying to express the other day is like somebody who's a thief. All they think about is what can I get out of this? What
Yeah.
can I get? What can I gain? How
Pretty
can I take advantage of this system?
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
shit, man.
It's
They're
not like
terrible.
a murder, like, and what you were saying, it wasn't like your run of the mill murderers. You were talking about kind of like people who snap and kill people, I think.
Yeah, well,
Not like serial killers.
So,
like not like Gary Ridgway or whatever.
No, I'm not.
You were
that
like
fucking Ted Bundy,
Bundy,
man. No, I'm talking about the general person that gets convicted of killing a single person.
Yeah, they just like
their
snap
crime
and like, kill
was
someone
like a
one
crime
day.
of like you mother. Yeah,
yeah, like they're not like out to figure out how they can.
And for the record, rapists are not redeemable. Like Lacey just.
I didn't say.
You fucking said. You said. Marcus said.
I don't know if any. There's nobody listening to this podcast that can be offended. Like if you listen to this podcast, you're unoffendable.
No, not true. I know a few people that listen to that could be offendable.
Well, then I'm gonna make them a shirt that says "I'm offendable."
And the whole time I'm watching this lady in the gas station still shit, and she gives me this fucking dirty, ugly look. I'm going down the candy aisle, and she's like hanging out in the candy aisle. I'm like, what the fuck? You're like 40. Pick a fucking candy. Get the fuck out of here.
I'm not gonna judge that.
Then
because when I'm on the candy
no, but she was straight up suspicious,
really
and she wanted me the fuck out of there. And I'm like, I don't fucking trust you, bitch. And I'm ringing up, checking out, and then I see her leaving. And as I'm leaving, when she went in, she had a beanie on her head, and when she went out, she had like, and I could see all this fucking product like candy and shit shoved in her fucking beanie. And I went to chase her down.
You did. I was like, why are we driving around?
Yeah, I don't fucking stand for that shit. And she got in a truck and fucking took off. So then I got in our car and like chased him in the car because I didn't even want to. I wasn't going to call the cops. All I wanted to say is like roll down the window and be like, "You're a piece of shit. You have get the."
When
fuck
I got involved in that domestic dispute, Marcus was so angry with me. And here is Marcus chasing down a woman who's stealing candy.
She wasn't gonna do a fucking thing.
Well, you don't know that. You don't know if the guy next to her has a gun.
Fuck that, dude. They're weasels, man. No. And for the record, like I'm not.
All of a sudden, there's like a record scratch, and it's like, let me tell you how I got into this situation.
You see, I was at a record store.
No, like, do you know what I'm talking about? When it's like,
yeah.
Let me tell you how I got it.
But
I was at the gas station.
But I have also heard this from. This is not just my experience and my like extreme hate for thieves. I've heard from people that worked in law enforcement, and I've known people who worked in corrections. I was married to one for a while. They say the same shit. Thieves, they fucking hate them. Like, I remember Desiree would always come home or in conversations, people would be like, how about the murderers in the prison? She's like, those are fine. They cause us zero problems. Like, what they did is a heinous act, terrible, god awful. But she was like, the petty thieves and shit are bastards. Mm-hmm. They're the ones getting in fights, running amok, stabbing you in the back, fucking everything
or
up.
Literally stabbing you with their knife that they made out of their toothbrush.
And they're fucking murderers too. Like, thieves can be murderers as well, I guess.
But what you're saying is like the people with the mindset to like, I'm just gonna steal this. It's like it's just another. I think it goes back to what I was just trying to say. Like, how can I take advantage of this system, whatever system you are currently a part of?
Yeah, they will do that. They will fuck you over in work. They will fuck you over in your life. They'll do it all. Whatever they will do whatever they
to
think
make
they
you
can
look
get away
like
from.
shit.
Yeah. So, anywho, that's
this
my
is a
little
terrible
rant.
Movie. Everybody needs to go Google Judith Penny.
Check out Don't Breathe 2. It's in Redbox right now. You can get it for 75 cents.
Don't check it out.
It's not even worth 75 cents.
Don't even do that. Yeah.
It was a pretty big waste. I'm not going to lie.
But
the ending credit scene was pretty bad. Bad ass.
I don't care about ending credit scenes like you do.
I don't care about ending credit scenes.
You're like, cool.
No, I like opening credits. I like interesting opening credits. The ending credit scenes on this movie were interesting.
I hate people that make you sit in the movie theater and watch the credits.
To watch another thing at the end.
Yep.
That was a big thing. That's kind of done now, though. They don't do that much. Like, I don't even remember what that was called. Like
I don't know, but it was a huge thing for a while.
And then when they it was like the same movie trilogy that was doing it, and then they don't do it at the end. You're like,
And then you're like,
fuck.
I just sat in here and watched your stupid fucking credits while everybody crunched popcorn in front of me.
Yeah. So setting the record straight, Marcus despises rapists.
Yeah, it doesn't. We don't like rapists.
Fucking words in my mouth.
Marcus
Murderers are
like
not good people, and I fucking hate thieves. And Don't Breathe 2 was a thief because they robbed us of 90 minutes of our time.
And Ed Warren was a bad man.
And Lacey needs to learn to also look at a photo a little longer before she says, look at this cute old lady.
Okay, but the other stuff, can we focus on the other stuff?
Dude, for sure. And I want to do an episode. I want to like break down from you on the Warrens, like
I can work on that.
Full breakdown. We'll get that. We'll get that to you guys sooner than later. So you all have a great spooky night.